In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, the Imperium of Man endures as a beleaguered bastion of humanity, surrounded by Xenos threats, chaos, corruption, and internal decay. At the forefront of its defense stand the Space Marines, genetically enhanced superhuman warriors engineered by the Emperor of Mankind to protect humanity from annihilation. Central to their organization, tactics, and identity is the Codex Astartes, a monumental work authored by Robout Guilliman, Primarch of the Ultramarines Legion. Crafted in the aftermath of the Horus Heresy, a cataclysmic civil war that nearly shattered the Imperium, the Codex Astartes serves as both a tactical manual and a revered text for many Space Marine chapters. For over 10,000 years, it has guided these warriors, shaping their structure, strategies, and unwavering loyalty to the Emperor. This essay provides an exhaustive exploration of the Codex Astartes within the Warhammer 40,000 universe, delving into its historical origins, detailed contents, varying degrees of adherence and deviation among chapters, revisions in response to new threats, and its enduring impact on the Imperium's survival, offering a comprehensive analysis of its multifaceted role in the galaxy's unrelenting conflicts. The origins of the Codex Astartes are rooted in the catastrophic events of the Horus Heresy, a galaxy-spanning conflict that erupted around 001 M31 and reshaped the Imperium's destiny. The heresy began when Horus Lupercal, Primarch of the Lunar Wolves, later renamed the Sons of Horus, and War Master of the Imperium, was corrupted by the Chaos Gods, malevolent entities from the Warp. Horus's betrayal led to a schism among the 18 Space Marine legions, with 9 turning traitor alongside him. These legions, each numbering tens of thousands of warriors, had been the Emperor's primary instrument for unifying humanity during the Great Crusade. 798.M30-005.M31, a campaign to reclaim the galaxy for mankind. The heresy culminated in the Siege of Terra, 014 M31, where Horus's forces assaulted the Imperial Palace. The Emperor defeated Horus in a psychic duel aboard the War Master's flagship, the Vengeful Spirit, but at a devastating cost. The Emperor was mortally wounded and interred on the Golden Throne, a life-sustaining device that transformed him into a near-mythical figurehead. The Imperium was left fractured, its infrastructure devastated, and its legions decimated, with trust among the survivors eroded by betrayal. Robout Guilliman, Primarch of the Ultramarines and one of the 9 Loyalist Primarchs, emerged as a stabilizing figure during the post-heresy period known as the Great Scouring, circa 014.M31-021.M31. As Lord Commander of the Imperium, Guilliman led campaigns to purge the remnants of Horus's forces, including traitor legions, renegade worlds, and chaos cults. The scale of Horus's rebellion, enabled by the immense size and autonomy of the legions, exposed a critical vulnerability. A single commander wielding control over tens of thousands of Space Marines could threaten the Imperium's existence. Guilliman, renowned for his logistical genius and strategic foresight, sought to prevent such a catastrophe from recurring. His solution was the Codex Astartes, a comprehensive doctrine designed to reorganize the Space Marine legions into smaller, more manageable units called chapters, each limited to approximately 1,000 battle brothers. This restructuring aimed to decentralize power, enhance accountability, and ensure that no single individual could amass a force capable of challenging the Imperium's authority. The Codex Astartes was formalized during the second founding in 02 1M31, approximately 7 years after Horus's defeat. The second founding marked the dissolution of the original 18 legions into successor chapters, each inheriting the gene seed and traditions of their parent legion. The Ultramarines, Guilliman's legion, were among the least depleted by the heresy, having been spared the worst of the fighting due to their deployment in the Galactic East during the Battle of Calth, 007 M31, a traitor ambush orchestrated by the Word-Bearers. As a result, the Ultramarines gave rise to a significant number of successor chapters, collectively known as the Primogenitors. Historical records, such as the Apocrypha of Scaros, suggest the Ultramarines spawned around 24 successor chapters, though discrepancies in Imperial archives leave the exact number uncertain. Examples include the Nova Marines, Genesis chapter, and Aurora chapter, each adopting Guilliman's organizational principles. Other Loyalist legions, such as the Blood Angels, Dark Angels, and Imperial Fists, also produced successors, though their numbers varied due to losses sustained during the heresy. The implementation of the Codex Astartes faced significant resistance from several Primarchs and their legions, who valued their autonomy and traditions over Guilliman's reforms. Rogel Dawn, Primarch of the Imperial Fists, was the most vocal opponent, viewing the division of his legion as a betrayal of its unity and honor. Dawn argued that the legion's strength lay in their cohesion, and splitting them into smaller chapters would weaken their ability to defend the Imperium. His defiance led to a tense standoff with Guilliman and the Imperial bureaucracy, escalating to the point where the Imperial Navy fired on the Imperial Fist strike cruiser, the Terrible Angel, as a warning. Dawn's resistance culminated in a personal trial of endurance. He subjected himself to 7 days in a pain glove, a device inflicting excruciating physical and psychological torment to reflect on his duty. Ultimately, Dawn relented, agreeing to divide his legion into chapters such as the Crimson Fists and Black Templars, though his compliance was reluctant. Other Primarchs expressed similar reservations. Leman Russ of the Space Wolves dismissed the Codex as overly restrictive, preferring his legion's feral tribal structure. Jagatai Khan of the White Scars, valuing speed and independence, saw the Codex as incompatible with his legion's nomadic warfare. These tensions underscored the divisive nature of Guilliman's vision, which sought to impose order on a galaxy still reeling from chaos. The Codex Astartes is an expansive and meticulously detailed tome, encompassing every facet of Space Marine organization, tactics, and culture. For many chapters, particularly those descended from the Ultramarines, it is revered as a holy text, its pages treated with the same veneration as sacred relics. The Codex draws on the collective wisdom of thousands of Imperial warriors, compiled by Guilliman and his advisors over years of warfare and analysis. Its organizational structure is one of its most defining features, mandating that each chapter consist of approximately 1,000 battle brothers to prevent the concentration of power seen during the heresy. Chapters are divided into 10 companies, each with specific roles. The first company comprises veterans, elite warriors with decades of experience, often equipped with Terminator armor. The second through fifth are battle companies, balanced for versatility in various combat scenarios. The sixth through ninth are reserve companies, specializing in tactical, assault, or heavy weapon roles to support the battle companies. And the 10th company trains scouts, initiates learning the arts of war. Each chapter is led by a chapter master, a figure of immense authority, with each company commanded by a captain, supported by specialists such as chaplains, spiritual leaders, apothecaries, medics responsible for gene seed recovery, and librarians, psychic warriors. To ensure self-sufficiency, chapters maintain their own recruitment worlds, fortress monasteries, fortified bases serving as headquarters, and armories stocked with vehicles, weapons, and dreadnoughts. Venerable warriors interred in mechanized sarcophagi. The Codex's tactical doctrines are equally comprehensive, providing strategies for every conceivable combat scenario, from squad-level skirmishes to planetary-scale assaults. It defines standard squad roles to ensure flexibility and coordination. Tactical squads, equipped with bolters, are versatile units capable of holding objectives or supporting other forces. Assault squads, armed with melee weapons and jump packs, specialize in rapid, close combat strikes. Devastator squads, wielding heavy weapons like lascannons and missile launchers, provide long-range firepower. These roles allow chapters to adapt to diverse threats, from orc hordes to Eldar hit-and-run tactics. The Codex also includes detailed guidelines for unit markings, e.g., shoulder pauldron colors denoting company affiliation, vehicle assignments, e.g., Rhino transports for tactical squads, Predators for heavy support, and large-scale operations, such as orbital insertions or siege warfare. These prescriptions ensure that chapters can operate cohesively, even when coordinating with other Imperial forces like the Astra Militarum or Adeptus Mechanicus. A critical component of the Codex is its regulation of gene seed, the genetic material derived from a primarch and implanted into space marines to grant their superhuman abilities. The Codex imposes strict protocols to maintain genetic purity and prevent the mutations that plagued some legions during the heresy, such as the Blood Angel's red thirst or the Thousand Sons' rampant psychic instability. Chapters are required to tithe 5% of their gene seed to the Adeptus Terra and Adeptus Mechanicus for testing and storage, ensuring oversight and preventing unauthorized experimentation. Gene seed stocks are kept separate to avoid cross-contamination between chapters, and gene seed from the 9 traitor legions, e.g. World Eaters, Death Guard, is sealed in stasis vaults on Terra to prevent misuse. These measures safeguard the stability of Space Marine chapters, ensuring that their genetic lineage remains untainted by chaos or degradation. For Codex-compliant chapters, particularly those of Ultramarines' descent, the Codex Astartes is a sacred text, its teachings ingrained through rigorous study. Battle Brothers are required to memorize sections of the Codex, with the collective knowledge of a company encompassing the entire tome. This practice ensures that its wisdom is accessible even in the chaos of battle, reinforcing discipline and unity. Chapters like the Ultramarines treat the Codex as a near-divine mandate, its words attributed to Guilliman's genius and, by extension, the Emperor's will. While the Codex Astartes is the bedrock of Space Marine doctrine, not all chapters adhere to it strictly, reflecting the diversity of their cultures, histories, and missions. This balance between uniformity and individuality is a hallmark of the Space Marines' resilience. Chapters descended from the Ultramarines, known as primogenitors, are among the most devout adherents. The Genesis chapter mirrors the Ultramarine structure and tactics, maintaining a near-identical organization. The Red Scorpions are renowned for their obsessive adherence to the Codex and gene seed purity, viewing deviations as heretical. The Nova Marines emphasize the Codex's tactical flexibility while adhering to its organizational framework, adapting its strategies to their campaigns in the galactic fringe. These chapters see the Codex as a sacred guide, with deviations often considered a betrayal of Guilliman's vision. In contrast, several chapters diverge significantly from the Codex due to their Primarch's philosophies or unique circumstances. The Space Wolves, descended from Lem and Russ, reject the Codex's standard structure, maintaining 13 great companies led by Wolf Lords, each resembling a warband with its own heraldry and traditions. Their only successor, the Wolf Brothers, was disbanded due to severe gene seed instability, highlighting the risks of their non-standard approach. The Dark Angels, heirs of Lionel Johnson, prioritized their secretive hunt for the fallen, traitors from their legion who survived the heresy, organizing their first company, Deathwing, and second company, Ravenwing, for specialized roles in tracking and capturing these renegades. The Flesh Tearers, a Blood Angel's successor led by Nasser Amit, embraced their Primarch Sanguinius's rage-driven legacy, favoring brutal close combat tactics over the Codex's measured strategies. Their gene seed flaws, such as the Black Rage, exacerbate their divergence. The Black Templars, an Imperial Fist's successor, operate in decentralized crusades, often exceeding the Codex's 1,000 warrior limit, with a zealous focus on melee combat and eternal crusading. The Salamanders, descended from Vulcan, adhere to the Codex's structure but emphasize resilience, heavy weapons, and flame-based warfare, reflecting their volcanic homeworld of Nocturne. These deviations are not necessarily disloyalty, but adaptations to specific needs or cultural identities. For instance, the Space Wolves' great companies preserve their tribal heritage, while the Dark Angels' focus on the fallen reflects their burden of shame. The Imperial Fists developed a unique contingency known as the Last Wall Protocol, allowing their successor chapters, e.g. Crimson Fists, Black Templars, to unite as a pseudo-legion in times of extreme crisis, such as an Orc invasion of their homeworld, Rinnsworld. This protocol effectively bypasses the Codex's limit on chapter size, demonstrating that even Codex-compliant chapters retain mechanisms to adapt Guilliman's rules when survival demands it. Such deviations have occasionally sparked tensions with Orthodox chapters or the Imperium's bureaucracy, particularly the Inquisition, which views non-compliance with suspicion. However, the Imperium's pragmatic need for the Space Marine's strength often tempers outright condemnation. The Codex Astartes has not remained static. It has evolved to address the challenges of the 41st millennium, particularly following Roboute Guilliman's resurrection in circa 999.M41 during the Era Indomitus. This period, marked by the Noctis Eterna, a galaxy-wide warp storm that disrupted communication and travel, saw unprecedented threats, including Tyranid hive fleets, Necron awakenings, and Chaos incursions led by Abaddon the Despoiler. Guilliman, revived by the Adeptus Mechanicus and the Eldar Inari, assumed the role of Imperial Regent and introduced the Primaris Space Marines, a new breed of warriors engineered by Archmagos Dominus Belisarius Call. Primaris Marines, enhanced with superior strength, speed, and war gear, necessitated significant updates to the Codex. New squad types were integrated. Intercessors serve as battle line units with bolt rifles. Aggressors provide close support with flamestorm gauntlets. Inceptors, equipped with jump packs and heavy bolters, offer fire support. And Rivers, specializing in stealth and terror tactics, handle special operations. Each company now includes 2 lieutenants to manage the larger, more complex Primaris units. Tactical updates emphasize adaptability, allowing chapters to counter evolving threats like Tyranid bioswarms or Necron phalanxes while retaining core Codex principles. Guilliman's revisions also include plans for a broader Codex Imperialis, intended to encompass all Imperial forces, including the Astra Militarum, Adeptus Mechanicus, and Imperial Navy. This ambitious project remains in development, reflecting Guilliman's vision of a unified Imperium. Codex-compliant chapters, such as the Ultramarines and their successors, have embraced these changes, integrating Primaris Marines seamlessly. However, divergent chapters like the Space Wolves and Dark Angels have adopted Primaris reinforcements cautiously, wary of altering their traditions. The introduction of Primaris Marines has strengthened chapters, but also raised questions about the Codex's relevance in a galaxy where threats increasingly defy conventional tactics. The Codex Astartes has profoundly shaped the Imperium's military strategy, ensuring that Space Marine chapters remain a cohesive and effective fighting force. By standardizing chapter organization, it enables them to operate independently or in concert across the galaxy, from defending hive worlds against Orc Wars to launching crusades against Chaos strongholds. The Codex's emphasis on discipline and coordination has made Space Marines the Imperium's most reliable warriors, capable of executing complex operations with precision. Its division into smaller chapters mitigates the risk of catastrophic losses, as seen during the Heresy, when entire legions fell to chaos. The Codex's tactical doctrines provide a framework for addressing diverse threats, from the brute force of orcs to the psychic sorcery of the Thousand Suns. Despite its strengths, the Codex is not without critics. Some argue its rigid structure limits adaptability against unconventional foes. Orc Wars, characterized by chaotic and unpredictable tactics, often defy Codex strategies requiring improvisation. Tyranid hive fleets, with their overwhelming bioswarms and adaptive biology, demand responses beyond standard doctrines. Necrons, with their advanced technology and ability to self-repair, challenge traditional warfare, rendering some Codex tactics obsolete. These criticisms highlight the tension between the Codex's ordered framework and the galaxy's chaotic reality. Even deviant chapters, however, often return to its principles in times of crisis, recognizing its enduring wisdom. Beyond its practical applications, the Codex Astartes is a cultural and symbolic cornerstone. For Codex-compliant chapters, it is a sacred text, embodying Guilliman's vision and the Emperor's will. Its memorization fosters discipline and unity, ensuring that Space Marines remain steadfast in their duty. For divergent chapters, it is a respected guide, adapted to their needs but never wholly discarded. This duality ensures its relevance across the Imperium's diverse chapters and campaigns, from the Ultramarines' defense of Ultramar to the Black Templars' eternal crusades. The Codex Astartes stands as a testament to Roboute Guilliman's foresight and the Space Marines' unyielding commitment to humanity's survival. Born from the ashes of the Horus Heresy, It has guided the Adeptus Astartes through 10 millennia of unrelenting war, shaping their organization, tactics, and identity. Its balance of uniformity and flexibility allows chapters to adapt to their unique circumstances while maintaining a cohesive framework. In the era Indomitus, as the galaxy faces new threats, the Codex continues to evolve, incorporating Primaris Marines and new strategies while preserving its core principles. Whether revered as holy scripture or adapted as a practical guide, the Codex Astartes remains a beacon of order in a universe consumed by chaos, ensuring that the Emperor's finest warriors stand ready to defend humanity against all odds.